Hello, I'm Commander Morgan. I'm here today to bring you a short overview of a man that made a big difference during a very troubling time in North Carolina's history. Ordinary men that did extraordinary things. While the war between the states was just beginning, more than a few men took a stand for their homeland, their families, and their state. General Robert Frederick Hoke is one of those men, a true son of North Carolina. I should know. I've been with him from the very beginning. While the southern states were being threatened by the North under the newly elected Northern President Lincoln, the southern ports thrived with commerce. Tobacco, cotton, corn, and soybeans were abundant. Crops flourished. Things the northern states wanted, didn't have, and needed, by coercion and force if necessary. The northern and southern states also had opposing requirements and were laid bare after the election of Lincoln. When the South looked at the election results, they saw a government completely controlled by a region that had become hostile to economic and social survival of the South. This fear led to the secession crisis. Across the South, a consensus began to grow. They would be better off severing their ties with the Union completely, as the Constitution allowed. Robert Hoke saw the writing on the wall like all other Southerners and stepped forward. This story is about him, the man, the leader, and the legend. Robert Frederick Hoke is born on May 27, 1837 in Lincolnton, North Carolina. In 1844, Robert's father, Michael Hoke, dies at age 34 shortly after losing a grueling gubernatorial race. The death of his father following a political defeat instilled in him a lifelong aversion to the political stage. Unknowingly to him at that time, he'd inherited the ghost of his father when it came to politics. Born into a lineage of manufacturers, Hoke's life was forever altered at age 7. In 1854, Hoke graduated from the Kentucky Military Institute. During the 1854 to 1860 period, he had returned home to manage his now widowed mother's cotton mill and iron works. During that time, he was very innovative. While others focused on cotton, he was focused on gears and iron and saw the industrial potential in its waste. Hoke built the first cottonseed oil mill in the United States.
We're almost full here. Needs more on the left.
Together we shall build a future of prosperity
Robert
and
Hoke
unity for our
also
community.
had his finger on the pulse of his fellow neighbors and Southerners. He knew he had to take action when he saw with his own two eyes the lopsided chess game the North was playing politically with the South. In April 1861, he enlists as a second lieutenant in the Southern Stars, which was the 1st NC Infantry. While the war between the states was just beginning, more than a few men took a stand for their homeland, their families, and their state. By June 1861, he found himself in the thick of the fight when his unit was called up and moved to meet the northern invasion head-on. At Big Bethel, the first land battle of the war, Hoke's tactical poise earns him the first of many rapid promotions. He was commended for his coolness and judgment during the battle. 4 months later, in September 1861, he was promoted to major in the 33rd North Carolina. In March 1862, he assumes command of the 33rd NC at New Bern after his colonel is captured. He is credited with saving the regiment from encirclement. 5 months later, in August 1862, in rapid ascent, he is promoted to colonel of the 21st NC. Hoke is promoted to colonel of the 21st to fight in the 7 Days, 2nd Manassas, and Antietam. In December 1862, he repulses Union attacks at Fredericksburg and gets praised by Generals Early and Stonewall Jackson. At the age of 25, in January 1863, he is appointed Brigadier General, the youngest general to ever to have achieved this high rank and honor. Promotion is met with tragedy. A wound at Chancellorsville sidelines Hoke, but his recovery is spent facing a new enemy, the internal rot of desertion in his home state. In the spring of 1864, Hoke reaches the zenith of his military career at Plymouth. The Battle of Plymouth, April 17 to 20th, 1864, is regarded by historians as the most effective tactical Confederate combined arms operation of the Civil War due to the seamless coordination between Brigadier General Robert F. Hoke's infantry and the naval power of the ironclad CSS Albemarle. In this triumphant victory, Hoke had commanded a division of approximately 7,000 to 10,000 men, organized into 3 primary brigades led by Colonel John T. Mercer. The victory and fall of Fort Williams resulted in the capture of approximately 2,800 Union prisoners and 25 pieces of artillery at a relatively low cost of 50 Confederates killed or wounded. Tactically, the battle reopened the Roanoke River to Confederate commerce and provided a significant morale boost, leading to Hoke's immediate promotion. On April 20th, 1864, he is promoted to Major General, the youngest in the Confederate Army. In the final defensives, in June 1864, General Hoke was recognized for the distinguished defense at Cold Harbor, helping repulse Grant's most costly assault. In January 1865, he was given the task of defending Fort Fisher and Wilmington, a challenge that he met with determination and fortitude. Fast forward to March of 1865, he is credited with turning Slocum's flank at Bentonville, the final major battle in North Carolina.
If you sign these articles, General, we can finally begin the work of peace.
I agree. Let us hope this brings the quiet required.
From the trenches of Petersburg to the fields of Bentonville, Hoke fights to the end. General Hoke gave a farewell address to his men after the surrender at the Bennett House in Durham.
Men, you are prisoners on parole, not slaves.
In historical records, it is noted that in 1869 he marries Lydia Van Wyck, the daughter of a prominent New York family. In 1873, he incorporates the Cranberry Iron and Coal Company in Mitchell County. In his career, he serves for many years as director and president of the North Carolina Railroad. It is noted that he consistently declines the Democratic nomination for governor. Hoke spent his remaining 47 years building the New South. He mastered the machines of peace as he had the engines of war, dying in 1912 as the state's ultimate industrial architect. After the South was bled to death, invaded, ravaged by Union armies, her social and political order was uprooted. 190,000 Southern men were killed by Federal bullets, cannonballs, and war. The 11 Southern states that fought to be free of the Union were reconstructed after the war with the vision of the Northern states, not the Southern states. We can see the results of those efforts now. In the South, that fight continues today. The efforts to remember our heritage, our honor, and our Southern history is still alive and well thanks to men like General Robert F. Hoke. We honor him today. He was a modest warrior, a man with honor, a man with vision, a man that believed he could make a difference. He is the spirit of the South that still lives among us. Long live the South.